1,000 years to God, to man, is one day to God. That's what a lot of Christians like to utilize, especially when I'm talking about the 6 days of creation. And they try to say that, oh, no, 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 no. 1,000 years is one day to God. So when Adam and Eve, God didn't lie. God said that they would die in the day that they eat the apple. And that one day was 1,000 God, was one day of God days. So since Adam died at 900 and something, then God did not lie. This is what they try to use. They're trying to act like the Bible speaks in one voice, when in fact, every time that the Bible utilizes the word yom, which means a 24-hour day, and in that verse where it talks about that they would die in the day that they eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, it utilizes the word yom, which is a 24-hour day. The 6 days of creation were utilizing the word yom, which is a 24-hour day. So when Peter, in 2 Peter, when this was talked about, when this whole thing came about, and I can guarantee Peter did not, the writers of 2 Peter did not expect for so much confusion to happen. That the lay people are the ones who tend to take this as a literal thing. But when you read it in context of what was going on before this writing and after, you had scoffers who was complaining and saying that, oh, your Jesus is supposed to return. When is he going to return? When is he going to return? When he coming back? When he coming back? All right. And Peter was talking to the people and saying that, nah, see, one day to God is 1,000 years to man. That you have to realize that God is outside of time, and God is not rushed by anyone. God's timing is basically what Peter was trying to get across. So you should be long suffering. You should be patient. You should be slow to try to push for God's return or Jesus's return, because his time frame is not the same time frame as man, that God does it whenever he wants to do it. And it's a good vague statement to make people be able to say that, well, whenever it happens, it happened in God's time. And if this God was a real God, and yes, he would be outside of time as far as what we consider time. But as long as that God is enacting something on this earth, though, it is within our time frame. Let me explain that. You see, if God was doing something, and he's doing it on Mars, or he's doing it on Jupiter, let's do Jupiter, one day is completely different on Jupiter than one day on Earth. It's a much longer day on Jupiter, I believe, than it is on Earth. So therefore, one day in Jupiter could be multiple days on Earth or months on Earth. Whereas he's doing it on Jupiter, that's one day. Earth days going faster. You're doing it on Earth, though. It's an Earth day. That's why it utilizes the word yom, and to mean a 24-hour day when it's talking about Adam and Eve eating the fruit in the 6 days of creation. It's talking about one Earth day. Now, if he's over in some other galaxy, in the Andromeda galaxy, and he's doing something on some planet that has a 500-day year and one day is 72 hours, it's totally different. It's totally different. Time is relative. And that's essentially what what the writings of Peter, 2 Peter was trying to get out, that if this God is all over the universe, his time is not our time. So you just got to be patient for when this guy comes back and do his thing. And for all those scoffers out there who are saying that, oh, when he gonna come back? Y'all talking all this trash, when he gonna come back? Don't worry about them. They're measuring things based on their time, their expectation, but don't have any expectations on this God. That's what this writing is actually saying. But when it suits a Christian to debate someone about the inaccuracies of the Bible, then they like to utilize that as a literal thing in order for them to think that they're winning the argument. But they do the very thing that they always accuse me of doing, which is one, cherry picking, which is two, taking things out of context. The idea of one day to God is 1,000 years to man, and taking that as a literal thing is taking it way out of context. It's more of an allegory. So y'all have a great day. I hope that answers your question. But y'all have a great day. And remember always, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.